Hello. Hello. How are you doing today? I hope it is a beautiful day that you're having, or a beautiful afternoon or evening, if not a night. Perhaps you're having a late night snack. And if you're out there in outer space, welcome to this planet Earth. Here we are, thinking about what could we do to join the narrative with aliens from this world, which is people that are different from within the boundaries of this world. So we have gathered here today. The people of our generation have 30 years in common. 30 years in common. I would say it could be from 40, under 30s, 40s, 50s, some under 60s. I can't wait for Jordan Peterson to return and bring some balance with Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro. I mean, you have to understand that each person might want to represent for humanity and win a theme, and it is very difficult to make everyone love you here, all right, in this stage. So I want you to see your picture, your ethnographic picture, and situate yourself. So I have to remove this bring a big table and start to note words. I need to write them in paper, and then I cut them and I play with words, all right? So my mind is naturally psychedelic. I come with certain ideas and understanding, like jack of all trades, a little bit of everything. So I gotta study being ethnographic. I'm really coming here with what really matters for me is to see people putting what they need. So yesterday I was seeing horrible pictures of dogs who were chained, and they would come and visit them, and they died like that. So it was very sad to see so much cruelty also for humans. I really want to get out of X and go back to roleplay, my fantasy realms. We lost a lot of friends because I have not been there taking care. Me and my best friends are top role players, and we work for fun And we have discovered a lot of pathways of how it works for virtual reality as well. That's how I came here with a war of hackers and giving my face, which is not a good reputation to have. So if you're watching here, just feel welcome. No one is obligated to be here or forced. If I can help for some characteristics, because I've studied for script writing and my father had a cinema school, he made for movies. So I grew up with photography and politics. He liked to write to the paper as a journalist, investigational journalist. He will be very happy to see Candice Owens and her husband. And always complain, wishing my mother supported him, but she had to support the household. She made all the money, and he would make to invest on his creativity, and she had to invest in what was more practical, because sometimes my father would start rewriting the Bible for the man of today, for example, and he would just start to write, and my mother would just think, I cannot support that, I have to bring food. And they love their freedom, so they never stopped each other, so that was a form of support as well. So I can help for character, because I've been in 8 wars at a time since 2006, not just hackers, but in the fictional worlds of roleplay and virtual reality. In real life, you better know that I am not here wishing war, right? When my main character would bring discourse to war, that was already everything set up for death. And the discourse would be very inspirational, of course, with every character trait and reason for you to die. So I would argue as well that, look, we cannot be killing everyone with the board, because we need people to elaborate their groups. Because if we always win every war, we won't have other people to role play. We started to be very creative and support the new generation that came coding, and we started to code as well, having to learn these silly things, not much really, just for the website, the characters in the blogs. It takes more time, so we were like, okay, now it's the lockdown, no wars, because people are delicate. Some people are going through. So we stopped that, because I've been here these years trying to move. The initial idea was to get influencers from internet to talk about virtual reality and the how can it be they've stolen part of the formula, part of it, not all. So Meta was created thanks to sending half kilo of paper to Bill Gates. All right. Everything that was there is what inspired Meta to become, but it was to unite the companies that have characters, video games, movies, and my reason for each country and each library to have their register all their characters from history and fictional, and any character they want to bring as well, from their soap operas. So what happens? You have characters that are already built, and the story has already a pattern, and it's very easy to diagnose what's gonna happen. So more or less, you have a lot of empty gaps to role play around. There's a lot of rules. There is a lot of rules and these rules are necessarily as laws exist. So this is the Institute of British Geographers. It's a beautiful old book. Location, space, and distribution. The Geographical Imagination of Arnold Bennett, lecturer in geography, University of the West Indies. All right. So, well, I got this notebook in the British Library, British Ideas, when I came. It's 10 years already in UK from November, so 4th of November. The information capital. Well, this is just London, so it has different mapping structures. Oops, different mapping structures. So that's everything that we can do for each layer. If we can see for the contamination of the rivers and how can we help. So I need to see if I can get some words from tariffs to universal coin. That's not crypto money. They can change the name if they want and put their money there. But everyone at the same time, really. That's the Atlas of Tolkien on Middle Earth. The Lord of the Rings. We've been playing The Lord of the Rings like forever, and I love to play with the hobbits, but he's a little dwarf. Just be silly with the hobbits. Gandalf and Thorin attack. So they talk about the map as well, right? Bilbo escape. For those who know the maps of the Lord of the Ring, which is sad because it got wet and I need to buy another one, but it still works. It still works. It's been in the wrong storage in a garden house, so. Well, this one is Road Atlas of Great Britain. And you have Google now, so maybe this one is just people used to have this in the car. My path. Every path is special, so choose yours and keep going. Every morning when I see the sunrise, I know it is time to start my day and get on my path. Some children's books are for adults. They are very spiritual. They teach you like Chinese lessons from the monks. So I brought this one in the back, but it's so cute. This ending. Spoiler alert. And kept going. Well, it's very funny because I love snails, turtles. I used to have silver turtles, collect the frogs, silver frogs, sorry. It's just very funny, you know. Sometimes my path leads me absolutely nowhere. That's okay. Nowhere is somewhere too. So I I got this book when I was homeless this year. Thanks to all the greedy people. All right. And kept going. They might not understand my path, and I might not understand theirs. But that doesn't matter. They keep going, and so do I. I ask for help. It's okay to ask for help. That's so cute. That's for all the people who helped me. So I owe my work to them. They gave me food and they gave me shelter. They helped me get this place as well. And they're paying my rent. And I go to eat there. So with my job, I was able to just buy this microphone. Next year I will buy another microphone to have guests. This year I'm just gonna send gift for my children and take codeine pills on Christmas every year. The worst thing you can do is invest money in foster families when you can help families. I'm saying this to Donald Trump, Melanie Trump, who went there very show off. They're running a show, right? To just suck the energy of people. They don't care. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. They make their way into the White House and they're just after the money. How much money can they get so they can be remembered? You know, next presidency will abolish what they're doing, as every presidency does. This is why I need every leader of the world to be 15 years to have stability in order to for each country to do theirs and stop these wars. But Trump, you want wars? You know, like I'm not very into politics. In my country, Machado, the lady that won an Oscar, she would like to have her country without a war because she had the Nobel Prize of Peace, right? So what's the point? Of course, all Venezuelans want freedom and they want to talk freely. So we will see if Maduro is bringing freedom of expression. My family member has been freed. Many people came out free. Cristobal Perret is free, my daughter told me. And it is good to pressure on what is being asked from Maduro. So this is all a show to distract the media. So, cradles of civilization. The progress of human evolution, settlements and civilization through the ages. The first settlements. So what happens that this is for kids, but it's very interesting for adults as well. My children used to have things from around the world. From my little passport from the United States, they will have a box every month from around the world to study. A street through time. So there was the Roman Empire and So much work being done. Yeah, that's so beautiful. When you honor the past and everything you have to settle yourself, just relax a little bit. Everyone has the right to judge you. If the elite is judging you, they will just see you know, if you put the tapestry of Voyeurs, which was a town in France. So if you're gonna make a tapestry, well, there was the president of France and the king of England had a dinner. And then you put Candace Owens told this to the world that his wife was a man, and the stories that changed the world through influencers reporting from rings of pedophilia where it's accepted among certain people that are everywhere, all right? So people are not talking, how many people from... It's not just the elite, so it's not to say, oh yeah, go and rape children, it's fine. So they will judge you for asking somebody for being a transsexual, but Candace Owens is not judging the change of sex. She's judging, it's not fair that, that you have to share secrets in order to make a better world. So let's stop doing these wars. And you have people from this generation that are helping you. All right? From the... at least from your imagination. Just imagine. I want to ask anyone that is listening. As a prayer. Because my words reach even through prayers, so there is nothing really much to say, but to feel that don't be afraid that you're going to be killed. Don't tell to anyone if I'm found dead. Don't go there, because the projections of the mind create it. Your fears create this paranoia. So when you are having people that are helping you and supporting you, you might become like Trump and forget all those who support you and then stab them in the back. Yeah, let them sleep in the streets because they invested more than what they had for you. So you might think you're very special because you deserve all the attention, but they don't care. They don't care. They don't give nothing. And we're gonna change that. Trust me that the very high class doesn't like to see so much corruption. All right. Of course, they will love people to be in misery because they will need governments and to be controlled. They will create wars so people feel they need governments. So what would happen in a world where witches have so much abundance because we're moving to space and we're moving into virtual reality forms of expression as entertainment and learning, which is disconnect from the stresses of the world, whatever. Just to dig into with your friends, which is a lot of fun. Being with normal people is something I would never recommend to my children. But this is for me a sacrifice, okay? To be recording this and talk normal. I love to go crazy and create character. This is for the people in need. And if I can get some mercy, an act of heroism, or someone that will help me to recover my children, that would be fantastic. So I have the airplanes that in 20 minutes they will land in Heathrow Airport. So just follow the airplane and there's my house. So how do you feel? How do you feel? And of course the technology. I needed to understand a little more, like, if is United States, the tariffs are helping to create this technological globe map. That was my idea as well. And I was thinking, like, this is so bad for the future, the tariffs. This is just a disgrace. It's like we're gonna go into another lockdown, basically. So it affects to America, but then the rest of the world is not counting in America. So if we can just help each other and make it together, that will be just amazing. I was just situating myself here like that. That's when the priest calls God, something. So, all right. Feel proud that you are under a critical eye, and how is this going to train you as a mastering experience? But understand that the elite has their friends there, and right now they're working, all right? So when people are in power, you must understand that they're all together. As much as they like you, they're always going to support those who are working right now, because they are right now doing very important treaties. So the rest of the world is also watching these shows, all right? So how cannot they watch them? These news are going all around the world. The moment Candace Owens was, they are not talking about the pedophilia and everything. Is a man. The first lady of France is a man. No, they're not talking about that. No. So what happens with the players? My grandfather was a player. He would take all the money of my grandma. I work in a bingo to understand the advice of the players and how it works, because it's a national bingo as well, and how it works with the infrastructure when they're calling the numbers and for the betting. And the thing is that we love to role play in forms that are free. We don't want to know anything. We don't want to be counting. We don't want to. Which is role play for the thrill, and it is good to learn as well. It's to learn. How many sweaters with broken the cashmere sweaters, broken elbows, just to put there and study and get my head on to get this right. And I have to learn this, because, man, I don't want to be all in the back there. I have to keep learning, right? You used to be so popular, and then I'm not going to allow this to happen. I have to learn this too. upgrade yourself. It's somehow like I see my son taking over. I'm like, I don't understand what he's doing because he's so way advanced. I imagine my son looking at me like if I am my mother. Like, you don't know nothing of what we're doing. I wish him well. I wish he's not clearing out the trash that all this corrupted artificial intelligence is doing, trying to wipe information away and then to wear t-shirts of Occupy Mars. It's like, come on. I created the Occupy movement, please. Like, you want to erase that from history? That was so cool. That was like my first script being televised. I was like, that's what? It worked. It worked. They did what? It was not going to work. They were just going to come there in the plaza and kick them out. And I like, they might need a little help. Some expertise. Well, it was very interesting to listen to HG2 in the Tudor scope on Camden's Owns, because I really love her, and sometimes I wish to kind of like I'm another viewer, so give from my perspective. Hopefully, I think she has an angel and a star, so it's beyond whatever I say or anyone. Yeah, she's very entitled. That's what I love about her. I'm very entitled. HG Tudor is super entitled. So feel proud if you come out as whatever. Who knows? The fight for justice is being wounded. So probably her mother had gone through a lot of suffering, but most of women has been through. They don't talk about it, of course. I really don't wish many people to be a woman. That we are alive is already like, wow, a miracle. You see, when you grow up, you start to see when men have been violent with other women, and you stand back because they pretend to be something they're not, and you can see it. You can see it through because they carry this. So that's very wounding, you know. My grandmother was a battered woman, and my mother made sure that never happened. And my auntie died virgin. My auntie died with breast cancer, but a true cancer. She looked like Wonder Woman, very beautiful with green eyes. And she could have been a nun, but she wanted to help my mother, my grandmother, from Galicia, the north of Spain, in Argentina. And she worked as a social worker, helping people on Sunday as well, every day until 10 o'clock. So from the spectrum of a battered woman, that was my grandmother. She was the first getting a divorce. Then she had my mother with an Italian. He was not aggressive, but he took her money. So, and my mother was in an orphanage because my grandfather was a player. So I'm a player too. I'm trying to win, of course. I want to win the world, right? I want just to win, to have my kids back and a bit more space for them, and if possible my mother. And if I can help influencers, I know I can help them to not ruin their careers. or to not fight so much one another, but help the world. All right, if you really care or you just want to be famous. I don't know why Ben Shapiro is an influencer. I don't listen to him much because he's very fast. So I see him very mental and very forehead. Yeah, he's very good. It's not very deep for me, but he's on his own right. The thing is that he doesn't have many people, if you really think about it, as a Jew, all right? The Jews might have a lot of money, but they don't have people. They only have this little piece of land, and they're everywhere. So I grew up with Jews. The businessmen that helped my mother be a businesswoman, they were all Jews from Argentina and Spain. And they were a great team, man. So I have gratefulness to Jews. Nobody took advantage of her or slept with her. They love her like a fantasy. And they were very handsome as well, and I loved them as my fathers. And they would always come home where the parties were, and they would read books of philosophy, and yeah, they would intellectualize a bit. They would smoke hashish, drink wine with fireplace. We would be with our friends around and playing in their houses, me and my sister. So there was a beautiful childhood we had. We played with our children. In India, I was a lot with the Jews from Hollywood, the producers and their friends. They would do shows and comedies, and they would prepare the discourse for Osho as well. They are highly intellectual, and they have a great sense of humor. I grew up with. He has such a great humor. And tell these stories when they would go to India, these adventures. It was fascinating. And they are great for marketing. They use all their intuition there. But there are not many Jews around the world. All right. I had a lover in New York City. He was a psychiatrist. I told to him, I'm not going to be with you. And I knew that he will want me just for that. It was very funny. Because everyone was crazy to be with him. So we were like 3 years, and he taught me a lot. He was very mysterious. My thing was always to make believe in true love. If you don't believe in true love, so you cannot free yourself. So these are men that are very manipulative. They don't see into that. They just they like to lie. So they are very well compartmentalized. And I learned they suffer a lot with their mothers, because the Jew man in general is terrible. The mothers suffer a lot. They joke about it because that's why they go to psychology, because everything is about their mother. They're very suffering women, where the man is. It's terrible. It's terrible. I mean, I think to have been a woman on any generation, as long as you can just fake it, I think, just to fake it, that would be your life. that you're just what you are, what you look, everything in your family. That's it, just to keep it together, just to keep a family afloat together, just to raise your children. Because where would you work? Yeah. All this is very recent, very recent. So the injustice sometimes is not because of being black or being a Jew or being a Muslim or being in a zone of war. How these things happen, all right? So they are philosophies of life. But there is also a deep wound that we carry from our mothers or grandmothers. My mother gave me so much, but for some reason my country and all the things together that put you in a situation where you're asking for help. You're asking for help to stop wars and get to work together. So right now you're very local there. You're local there. Just in America, and some viewers that know English will listen to you from Europe. Some from around the world are interested. But each of you could have greatness for the world. So this is not a matter of insulting each other. Venezuela, as Latin America, was freed by Simón Bolívar. It's not a communist country. You cannot study the cultures of around the world because you won't have enough time. Yeah? Simón Bolívar made independence from the Spanish colony. First of all, he was born in Venezuela and Spanish. But Miranda was in United Kingdom. He slept with Catherine the Great from Russia, the Empress of Russia. He was in the courts of Europe. And he ended up in England, and he got sponsorship from the British to liberate the Spanish, just to get rid of the Spanish. But he is Miranda. I identify with him a lot. He was a womanizer, and he was for the freedom of women. But that's how he would sleep with them, of course. And Byron wrote about him. Juan, well, right now I don't remember the title. Don Juan, The Adventures of Don Juan, which were based on him and also on himself, on Miranda, because he was very sexual as well. And if the ladies wanted to be with somebody, they would as well. It's not writing in the books, because that's why ladies are ladies. They don't show it off. So Simón Bolívar is called the Liberator, and there is a long story of books, poetry from him, and spiritual for the spirit of Venezuela and their independence. So you can Google it yourself. It has nothing to do with communism. Nothing at all. And I grew up with my father. My father even put Simón Bolívar in his movie as an apparition. This is very Latin American Che Guevara style, very rebel Spanish rebels. Spain was the ones who started to be against dictatorship. And thanks to the British, because the British had some families were split. Some were fascists and the other ones were artists. They will always have some artist in the family, and a doctor and a priest and some will go to Spain to paint and dance and drink and philosophize for the holidays. It's closer. It's normal. The British has been always going to Spain because it's closer and they have some sunshine, and they like to. There's so many houses in the coast that are just towns that are British. They're all British from around the coast of Spain. You have towns that are just British. You want to look for a work, the paper is in English. So in the times of my grandmother, there were not so many houses with so many British, but they've been always welcome there. I love the food. It was very cheap. So they started to support the intellectual ideas to be against the military dictatorships that were also taking 50% on taxes because the people were hungry. So these were called the Reds in Spain. They helped to. The British were the ones who helped to get the voice with the Canadians as well. This flame started, and other parts of the world helped to get people like Hitler out. So the Spanish rebels are very different from the communists, all right? And I do have a communist heart, a little communist in my heart. I concern the people that pretend to be superior and judging others will just have more ratings because it's a scandal. So those generations are not the generations of our parents. We are not the generation, all right? So perhaps it's a very castrated generation. So it is good if you want to be married, if you want to do this, if you want to do that. But it's just we're trying to open up. I am pro freedom of expression. And we have fight against for freedom of expression. So it's not that I want to be fighting. You gotta pick your wars, right? First of all, I'm not here to create more problems and scandals, so you can keep on with the sensationalist. Yeah, but it's very wounding for the Jews. I remember the son of Eddie Fisbane, Edward Fisbane, and we grew up together. And we'll see each other in the weekends because there were parties in my house on the weekends, my mother. So he's playing me, you're 10 years old, 11, 12. 13, from 9-year-old, 7-year-old, and he's playing me one day. People don't like the Jews. I'm like, why? I don't find anything wrong. Why? So he's playing me so many things. He was already a child, yeah, and he was being told this. He went to a school for only Jews, so I didn't understand what was where was the problem. Who was treating him bad? So yeah, because the majority is Christian, And I thought, Well, but my school is Christian, you know. They ask us if we are from another religion. We don't have to go to Catholic class. You know, they ask my parents and they say yeah. So, you know, I came from Venezuela. Nobody knew I was from Venezuela because I was already with Spanish accent. My friends forgot. My new friends didn't know I was from Venezuela. So yeah, you for whatever reason you feel different. Yeah. So you know your people. You know who are your people. You know women love you if you're Canon's owns. The black people love you. The people that are like Joe Rogan likes her because she speaks her head off. All right. Freddie Mercury would say, he said, I sing my ass off. And she's very smart, so she knows how to. For some man, she looks hysterical. But, you know, it's like for me listening to Ben Shapiro is sometimes, for many it's not the word hysterical, but I can see where he goes, and he might think that women are witches or the devil. I don't know. You know, smart Spanish woman who got more than your allies. As a creative person that still forgives, you know, because I am a true Catholic person and I can exercise like that. You have to look at your own demons. You gotta look at your own darkness. You gotta go on your knees and confess. When you do that, you can see anyone's scenes. But we're not here to be, you know, like losing my time talking about the world, and then the verse says each universe has many verses. Each verse is located in the multiverse map from history. Yeah, the lines, the timeline of history, and everyone has their date. And some are immortal, and some from the ghetto down, lower energies, want to go higher but don't have material to go higher, so they just go higher through tribal dance, sex, whatever it is that can exhaust meditations or prayer. But you do not have the material or the brain thought to understand what it takes in the material world to accept how people are. They're between Africa and South America. How people are. So the elite is going to think something about you, because they need these people. They're working on these deals. But for me, you are more important. When I came out, nobody cared about me to do a war against Bill Gates and virtual reality. They just kept it to their mouths, like if they were sharing a little secret. So they started to think as if, you know, woman versus men. This woman cannot be that smart. So they started to bring insults towards me. And that hurt me a lot, because they made a lot of money with my words and my work. So it hurts. It hurts, you know. It does hurt. They don't want to see that you have potential and you're smart. You're smart. That's why you're there. You're fucking smart. You can talk clear with evidence. So we're not the same. We're not all the same. Some people think they can vent reality. So what they say is what it is, because they grew up with people that they all do what they say. Yeah, like, so they always think to be right. What I say is what is going to be. But they grew up that I grew up that way. That's why I have problems. I don't have OCPD. I grew up with everything perfect. Yeah, like, what is this? So it's very hurting to see the social class clash. The clash of the classes. Because this is for people to get their percentage through influencers. With role players, I know very well, people have so much pride, and these are fictional realms. Imagine in real life, where people have properties. They have so much money, they just want more to be. The only reason they will help me is because they want to get money from the world, minerals, the industry to help, you know, it's going to help them with the percentage. So for Venezuela is to deviate from the Epstein files and all the drama involved. And Venezuela has a lot of petrol. It's the second country of petrol in the world. I don't know right now. Maybe I don't know right now, but Venezuela they have always tried to put it in third place or the fourth, but Venezuela has a lot of petrol. Not just Miss Universes. And drill. You know, the thing is that you cannot get me, but you need me. There is people grooming hatred around because they want to manipulate people in power. Yeah, so they wanna make them think they're gonna get it in this way. So it's very dangerous to have people that have so much money, influence, and power to be surrounded by people that are just playing with puppets, thinking they can manipulate people. And it's not the only way to work, because you have people that are high sensitive. It's just feel it on first person, like you can see it. You can see it from where it comes. When you speak, where it's coming from, the hatred, the need of control, the need to believe that you are doing something that nobody is. So imagine in virtual reality, you have hackers, role players, people telling you with characters. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. You have to be many years and decades to know who is who and where they're coming from or why they're doing so. And sometimes you should not even think about it. Don't think about it, because you gotta keep creating. I have to just sit in silence and think what matters most. The international technological deal is the most important. But for virtual reality, peace is very important. So it's very important. So I could bring this peace deal also for it to stop. So I really think influencers could help, but nobody wants to be dragged into these horrendous wars in other countries. It's very easy to fight with things you already know, that you already have evidence, but these stories are too old and we need to upgrade. It's too hurting to see people from Gaza being returned from South Africa because they don't want them. You know, they're people. So people that are against Gaza, but they don't want them to help them. They have their land and they have their houses. I know what it is. I have everything in Venezuela. So I didn't have a war in my country. We left willingly. So our country is in peace. And I asked my daughter to never go outside to protest, to not follow people's mentality, because I didn't give her birth for that, and I want her to be alive. And thanks God she is alive. And there in Venezuela. So I feel the pressure and the tyranny from people, what they do to be in power, that has to end. There is no need to manipulate intelligent people. If you have intelligent people, they know what is good, they have their honors, they have their loyalties. They won't need, some people need their ratings, yeah? They need to feed their children. I also need to feed my children. So once you got all this money, what are you gonna do? Just so your future generations can maintain your legacy and get more. So think, how are you gonna get more? For me, only an intervention, because I'm like I'm in the limbo where the philosophers are and the abandoned children, the innocent. Only somebody can rescue me from here. I don't know how to get out of this situation. I pray that somebody comes and just knocks in my door, so we start building this map. There is no big egos or confrontations anymore, and we can see the layers, which one is having each layer, but start to help together, because each country needs to advance technologically as well and control their own land and their own rules and their own what they bring to the map. It's just to the map. So, there might be a 15% or however percent they want of people flowing to help, but sometimes you also need interventions from another country and say, look, you have to stop cutting trees from the Himalayas, because that's why you're getting all these floods of water. So why don't you get more spiritual in China for all the monks you killed? You just want a workforce to take over the world. It's not the beautiful people of China they used to be, and has set the highest spiritual dictionary. The Chinese and the Hindus can't be translated into German or Spanish or English or any language, because they have no need for psychiatrists, because they understand the valleys, they understand the realms the mind goes, the ups and downs. So it's hard. It's hard, you know. You want to get there. I want to get to those realms in China and virtual reality. So you guys are like, I don't know, 600 years in the past for me. I want to be role playing in ultra space. And see my children grow, but none of you care, really. You have to be really smart to burn that fuel and get all these viewers. I don't have the my patience is for something else. No, I can't do that. I need to think. How are we going to have privacy in virtual reality? How are we going to have privacy? Because without privacy you cannot create your characters. This goes for United Kingdom, for the Prime Minister Starmer. If he makes an electronic ID, he can be voted again, but he should do it only for immigrants. I am an immigrant. Only for immigrants. And for 4 generations, doesn't matter if you're mixed with British. Because it takes time to belong to a Christian continent, a place of freedom. In fact, I think, I'm not against Muslims, but they should study Christianity to understand what is this about. This is not a Muslim philosophy of life. This is not a Muslim continent, and our freedom is taken over. So I remember how the Roman Empire fell down. It's because they stopped caring for their people, and they were investing in Europe. They were even bringing the wheat to make bread to the north. So with the lockdown, they've already exercised that they can feed us and it can work. I guess that was a test for the next round. Because they really think people are stupid. They think people are stupid. They're not going to learn. They're not going to learn to have their abundance, their celebrations, their music, their arts, their interaction. They're not going to have freedom of expression. They're not going to learn by teach and learn, by seeing, by wanting to going out. Where can I get this? How can I do this? How long is it going to take me? Not just reading on artificial intelligence, but as a human response through humans. So, well, I guess Elon Musk doesn't want to be with William because Prince William of Wales, it doesn't matter how much he wants to make a better world with Earthshot. It doesn't matter I mean, you cannot give all this money to the Native American in the Amazon. They don't have no idea how to administrate money. They're already obese. But of course, they will need people that know administration and have some gadgets here and there and can get to see through the map, and people can report. It's very hard because they kill people when they go there, right? So it could be Brazilians that have emigrated that can be there and talk with them, and some have Native American blood as well. So it's good to do a good casting, and women are not good for human resources because they think they don't have sense of property. They just got this job and they're just gossiping, like if they are in the terrace of their house in the town. So you need people that have studied character, and it's not just about administration, but people that are not going to get killed. It doesn't matter how good you are. So to create this casting of people, doing a mansion into a village, for example, you need certain people to, and others learn by taking stock of what they're doing. They're learning how to manage. Yeah. Anyone can learn. You don't need to study it, but just start working on it. It takes from 3 to 5 years in a supermarket or McDonald's to become a manager. Just to manage, but we need the technology to see the corruption stop. So Donald Trump asked to have the day of victory instead of the day of the veterans, and that will happen when we are bringing peace to this world. So what would happen? What can he ask to Venezuela if he changes what he's asking for Venezuela? Yeah? To be more democratic? I don't know. He's asking him to get out of the presidency. Like, if he's so perfect. I mean, Trump has so much fraud. I will talk about it because I'm tired of it. You love him, hate him. That's what you gotta learn from Trump. The more energy you have is positive or negative. So when you're used to movements of power, you gotta feel the dynamic, which is both poles moving, all right? And you're not filtering anyone's shit. But you are studying yourself as well, and how the strings of power work. And what is it that you want to string yourself? So I think you have a great support. I mean, I would love to see Candace as the President of the United States of America and get her into leadership as soon as possible. But I would also love to see people that know how to talk about technology and the new age forces that we're moving. So I think if you really look at the technological map, maybe we won't need presidents in the future, or so many people working in government, because people will be able to help each other through the system. Because who is going to present this map then? Now, United Nations is now working with the administration of Trump. This all thanks to Elon Musk. He's been tweeting all his life against with the crypto money guys and Ether. They have their story about against the deep state, against the Illuminati, with all the conspiracy theories have been, because they have their code and they're gonna make their world, they're gonna conquer, and they don't care about hospitals, they don't care about roads, they don't care about anything at all. They think their crypto money is their kind of the future where everyone is going to see exist. And they're just selling it now with Trump. The moment Trump took presidency, I could imagine Elon Musk saying, she belongs to the Illuminati. We have to destroy them, get rid of all this. I know when people get to power. I've been saying this all my life. On my father said, just wait 5 months, 5 more, 5, 4. It's normal. They all get delusional. You have so much energy from so many people from all the country, like never before, that anyone's ego which is inflamed. Just to own it all, they lose. They don't care if you sleep in the streets. They don't care if your children are suffering. These people are cold-minded, man. These people are cold-minded. What they have to do to get there, that's another. So it doesn't matter, because they've been fighting all their life and they will keep fighting. Everyone's fighting to get somewhere and proving. So you gotta prove. So, and attacking. So look, to be honest, just make this map, put the points there where is needed. It takes time to gather together. It takes time. You know how much forgiveness you have to have for everyone because they're fat, because they're too skinny, because they're black, because they're white, because they're Jewish, because they're Muslim, because they are not, because they are, because it's this mental illness, this other mental illness. Look, I am a Polish narcissist, please. I can't just clean myself out of you. Look, the order is something that we don't know what's world order. Look how they have divided the countries. The Native Americans in Venezuela would say, we don't have horizons. Venezuela, Colombia, Africa, this is all our land. This is all our land. You cannot, we don't belong to what you say is this country or state. My name is Native American, Erwane. So, I love my spiritual name from India. That's how I'm called from my family and best friends. I love when my boyfriend started to call me Sujani. I mean, it sounds so sweet and nice, and it's a relief. So long. You think of how you like to be remembered, how they call you, whom you are. Who are the Jews? If they hate you, listen to it. If some people hate you because you're a woman or you speak in certain ways, but you have the evidence. But think about it. Where's this international trial to take some people to jail who deserve it? Because all this is making a show of I have more and you cannot catch me. You cannot catch me because I have everyone corrupted. And my husband, the President of United States of America. This is what it is, yeah? They go to the castle to see the king in a golden chariot. I wish to free all these horses, to be honest. Like, really? Why is the land so divided anyways? Just let them be, man. All this, have some electronic some electronic, I don't know, something that's royal, but I don't know. That's the animals can be free. So to ask for like really, royalty is very beautiful. There's nothing more beautiful than royalty. I don't think the King Charles deserves my support. He's been, I think he's been doing everything against me, just to take. All right, I think he sent me people, and he has this. I think he has this narrative to, because he really does. This is against him, but at the same time I had to ask to give it to them, because they're not wanna give it to me. So I'm waiting here, right? From alright, 1 month, was gonna be 2 months, and now what? Right? So when it just hurt me and look at me, they wanted to make me crazy, man. Like, you want me to go crazy? Like, for after everything that I've done for you? What kind of royalty are you? Really? I feel like those Chinese that the British brought to Canada to make a tunnel from British Columbia to Alberta through the Rocky Mountains. So you know what? After the Chinese stopped making the tunnel, you know what they did? They just put them in the tunnel and made an explosion to kill them all, because they were not gonna pay them. That's how I feel. This is how I really feel. How hurt I feel. You sending somebody to be violent to me? Who would send me this person? Because I think Charles, he's envious. Because he's never gonna go in history as he did. He's doing this. You know, we're role players. You're not the role player. It's not your generation. Be happy if you can see this while you're alive. But you only give treason to your own kingdom. You think your people deserve having these immigrants? The people in the Middle East will understand they can take care of their people by learning. With interactive, stop all this immigration for the world to have their own sense of property, take care of their own. An universal understanding, an universal coin can help. And you will gain through the credits. So, not even to have a house to have my children. You know? The people go and ask help and do all this. You know, I have this war of hackers, they're waiting, and I'm here like... You know, I bring my critic, because I have a good critic, alright? Prince William looks really good by himself, and he will look very good with another man, Elon Musk. But they have to get into a new script of their own, because it's very funny, the old and the new, and they need each other. They need each other to bring some good humor and comedy. The Princess of Wales is very beautiful, and this is just too huge for... Doesn't make Prince William be whom he is. And It's just something about her that is too fake. You can see her beautiful and all this, and the British people will love her and that because they've married and it's the royal family, yeah? So great. But you can help each other on a greater scale to send more for outer space as well. You have good things and you have negative things. You might both see each other face to face, go to the stars, speak in better ways. I am not very happy to talk with anyone. It's very wounding. It's very wounding to work for free. I might have people doing voodoo on me with knives. I feel like daggers in my heart. It's so wounding what I feel. The betrayal from the corridors of power around. Because they're afraid. They're afraid, right? This old generation is peeing in their pants, in their pampers, in the old pampers. They're afraid, the names, and their friends. It's like, who cares? Who cares? They have children or children, they're gonna get an inheritance. Who cares? They have it until here, having to hide this all the time because a family member or this person, the other. Who cares? All these pedophilic rings have to stop. That's it. You know? Finish. We're not after you. I don't hate you. Stop taking children. They destroy families and take children. I had such a great education. That's why I can't go crazy. You know? I have the priest looking at me all the time. Today I woke up thinking, I wish I had become a drug addict, really? Because I had gone through so much pain. I could have become a drug addict. I just don't give a fuck, yeah? But, you know, I had so much creativity, so much education. I had so much put into me, so... And I want to recover my children, so I don't want to be like a drug addict there. Even to work better. I have allergy to drugs. A little puff, and then I go to sleep. If I can't, I'm not even to socialize. So you have no idea what people go through. So they get money from the government to take their children, and many end up with pedophilic rings. And they go out there and smile. They're supporting orphans. They are hurting families. And they look at people like, I'm gonna stick it up your ass as well and fuck you up with the power I got. Look at my young wife, Melania. I did great killing my ex-wife. The other one also killed his wife, beaten in the car accident. They are sick people. This has to end. They believe in doing evil. They really believe. You know, put an explosion, just kill the Chinese people because we don't need to pay them. That's how it works. That's how we get the money. To get in this, these people have been doing, and then they have, oh, human rights. Like, pff, that's so off. Like, yeah, we're going to help you, Ucrania. Like, really. Putin is fighting so people don't have a salary. You have to really think these words. You're not listening to all the channels. I have many channels for different algorithms. So what we're here to talk about together that unites us. Because you really care about what? It's not just America, it's the world. Look how we're living. The Jews have been hated because they're intelligent, you know, but also understand that been killing too many people. So all the Christians are coming out for you. It's too much. It's too much to bear in our eyes. But Osho talked about that like more than 30 years ago. It's better they put an atomic bomb so they don't make the world suffer, because the world suffers too when another person is suffering. Osho says it's gonna take too long to make anything good happen. I don't remember exactly how he said it. I would go in the morning and in the night in the discourse every other day or every day. 2 discourse a day. So please, have something in common. Yeah, it creates a great dilemma and people clicks. So, oh yeah, the Qatar will support Candence. We're trying to make a universal coin, and hopefully the money goes through you, and you know the people that loves you, that supports you. It's very difficult to get, because Tim was really cool. I thought he would be great for administrating. Tim lost a lot of views because the people that watch YouTube are most from the right. So he wanted to talk about, be a little more universal and talk with liberty as well. And he's been very open and not very confrontational like Jordan Peterson. So it was very interesting debate with Jordan Peterson. That was very, very smart. Ben Shapiro can get also very smart, but sometimes he loses with some words that are not sophisticated, you know. So it's like just shut off. He starts shooting off things that, and he's so well studied and well instrumented with his knowledge, and it just doesn't care anymore. He's got tired of it and just shoot something like that. And well, I can understand, you know. I can understand. I can understand. There's so many influencers in America, but we all have great influencers as well in Spain, and people from, and each one have their viewers, of course. So what's the point of all this? To be on the side of the administration that is today, because you will get money from the Jews. The very Jews that have all the money in this world, let's say, they're gonna support you. They would rather support Candace Owens because she has more public. Hello. There are more people from around the world that will listen to her show. Plus, she's funny and cute, and her facial expressions, and yeah. Continue the fight if you want, but you know, you both are part of the new world in America. So some people feel but for me it hurts me, you know. It hurts me when I went to see Jordan Peterson in London in the O2. There was around 50,000 people, and Jordan Peterson brought Ben Shapiro and other people that he has talked with. I think one from Denmark. I was very upset because I didn't like the guy that he brought from Denmark, because he's anti. He doesn't believe. He's always against the environment and what. So there are people that don't really think logical. They're just making their, because all the conspirational theories and all these. Oh no, the world. No, that's not true. So really, like, I was very upset. I was like, I didn't pay this ticket. That was for me a lot of money. And to be here waiting 3 hours, like, came late also. And to bring these people, Ben Shapiro, okay. People start applauding for Ben Shapiro here, yeah. But a lot of people left. All the Muslims left. The Muslim and the black people. That was at the end of the show. Half an hour they took, but they all stood up and left. I was like, no. So the people are like that. What can you expect? Yeah, you cannot ask. Yeah, you cannot ask for everyone to love you unless you have an orientation of how you design your words. So to take 2 seconds before modeling these words together, just to get other synonymous, to think, it just takes 1 second, a split of a second. Right? You have all these stories going here, and you are analyzing how you're gonna go to checkmate. So you want to, you bring this first, and then you suppose it's gonna say that, and then you complement each other as well, like good players. It's not easy being an orphan. It's not easy being a child in a foster family. It's not easy seeing your parents did not get along. Your mother suffered. It's not easy being a Jew, but everyone loves you because now you're an influencer. So you're also channeling the pain of the people that you represent. You are also responsible for their healing as they listen to you. What is your generation about? What is your generation about? What is you are bringing stage towards just yourself because you say so. So the street fights are a lot of fun, Yeah, let's just party, yeah, let's kill each other. And then when you're in the White House, then it's different, all right? You have all the support, you're not a piece of anything, yeah. You have all the support, all the glamour, all the support. You have that stage, man. You don't know what is that. You have to be there to understand. That's produced by the state, not the person that is there. They're nothing. But they fought their way up there through fraud and lies and abusing women. Yeah, abusing women. You always be afraid. They find out. They take you out. Who is the state then? That stage where you can do so much good to people, but the shutdown, no one's talking about the shutdown. What happened there? Trump blames the left, but it's just, you're not providing jobs to people, and you're gonna take their food bank away from one day to another without producing jobs for them or send them to Africa to work. to South America, somewhere fun, in Madagascar, where they want to go to do something. Because of the tariffs, because he cannot make this happen, Trump. He has to go. He cannot make this happen. He cannot make the tech titans sit together, because he shakes hands with Bill Gates and doesn't give a shit about Grok if they copy Grok with Meta. He wants everyone. He takes all the money from Elon Musk and then drill. That they lie to everyone. Yes, I'm gonna do that. Yes, I'm gonna do that. Really, people believe in that, right? That's the if United States of America had put the trial open, he would have never come to be a president today. If I knew I was going there, never trust this guy to be a president. What a shame for a nation. Making peace deals, but then wanting war in Venezuela. Venezuela, the nicest people in this world. Yeah, he took the elections. Some say it was hacked, and what was out that is beat. But teach them to be more engaging in conversation. But Trump is not going to do that, all right? He has his fight against the left, and he thinks this has to do with the left, also with all the Latin American people. The Latin American people don't like what happened in Venezuela. I don't want to talk about because it's too deep, and it reminds me of how my father got murdered. I don't wish this to anyone, to have your life destroyed because of greed, and the poor people hating the person that gave you a land to make a village, and more problems. You just don't go and rape people, you know? The people will kill you for that. That's another problem. It's not that I want it to stop. It's that people don't like to be abused. Yeah? People can learn to have a conversation. That's the purpose of freedom of expression. People can learn to have a conversation. And where's the climax of our conversation? If you don't care about the people, that was a good point that Tucker made, Tucker Carlson. You only care about the people in Israel. You don't care about the Americans. So this is a very thin cut. I mean, of course, Tucker Carlson should go for the presidency. But you want someone that knows how to speak, of course. He knows about politics. It's heavy if you have decades talking about politics. Yeah. God, cut you in a knife like a surgeon with words. It's not funny, but for so much pain, it's not sadism, but how do we get out of this and respect each other? Respect each other. You want to honor people. They want honor. They want more honors. They want you to recognize them. Like, really? You want me to recognize you? Look, this is what you have to recognize. What is your demographics? Peace. Enjoy the journey.